Kadamayam Darati Swapadantikam Vandayam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahakana Raguna Tanvitam Tam Sajivam Sarvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakapatorbhyascha Kripa Sinthyobhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadharo Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Haribol, so beautiful, Mataji.
Haribol
So
Mataji.
very, very beautiful. Your singing like seems so much from the heart.
Oh,
So
thank you.
like, yes. And this was a perfect segue for our chapter 19, how we have to have everything from the heart, right? Wow, okay. So will be what happened. So let me share my screen. Okay. So quick recap what we have covered in chapter 19, which is 1.4.1. Quickly.
I remember seeing you can have Prema from doing the processes of bhakti, but then also by mercy.
Okay. Yes. Very good. So let's start with a sequential order. What is the definition of prema?
Love of God.
Okay, but from the
Oh, yes.
from this chapter, yes. What is the definition of prema? Hare Krishna, Jai Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu, like as per the definition Rupa Goswami gives, so complete softening of the heart and extreme possessiveness towards Krishna. And the bhava becomes extremely condensed. These are the definition for prema bhakti.
Yes. So the primary is the emotion becomes very condensed. That the primary. Secondary is softening of the heart, and the other thing you mentioned was
Extreme possessiveness.
extreme possessiveness. Okay. And in the extreme possessiveness, how to understand it? How does it compare from the sadhana? At the sadhana level, also one loves Krishna. How the possessiveness changes at prema? There's one word we talked about in prema. What was that related with the love?
Was it possessiveness?
Sorry, Mataji, what was that?
Was it possessiveness?
Yes, possessiveness. But then there was a word we used in Sanskrit, or you can describe it also if you don't remember that word. How this possessiveness is Different, intense.
Māmatva.
Yes, that's the word I wanted to hear. Māmatva. Now, at sadhana, what we say, we are part and parcel of Krishna. So we are Krishnas, right? We belong to Krishna. So that's the mood at the sadhana bhakti. But at the prema, it shifts and says, Krishna is mine. You see the difference? At the sadhana, I am Krishna's. I am part and parcel of Krishna. I belong to Krishna. So it's from me to Krishna. And now in the possessiveness, Krishna is mine. Still, like, it's me, but now Krishna is mine and no one else. Krishna is only mine. And that's the definition of prema also. Prema means that that beloved is my only source of love, nothing else. And you see how this definition works so well. That means that I should not love any material thing and no love to any of the material desire. My only love is this, my beloved. That's the love, right? So it becomes, there is no if, but, okay, 1.001% here. No, 100%, 101.1% is that love, right? So that's Mamata. Krishna is mine, no one else. Okay, so that was the definition of, very good. So that was the definition of prema. After that, what happened? And we talked about the Mamataba part also, right? Okay, after that, what happened?
Like it will Prema Bhakti can arise in maybe through sadhana or
Where, yeah, yeah, yeah.
from Bhava or from mercy of the Lord.
Yes, yes, that we covered. Prabhata said. Then there was how one reaches to prema bhakti. What are the two ways one can reach to prema bhakti?
Um, arising from, I think, mercy or hold on, Bhava, Prema arising from Bhava or mercy.
Yes, so that was one part by maturing of bhava. But let me pour up a point. Okay, so that's true actually. So prema we come through bhava or mercy. Now within bhava, what are the two parts one can get to prema?
Vedi or Raganuga?
Very good, very good. So and in the Vedi it's called Mahatma Jnana Prema. And so what is the characteristic of Mahatma Jnana Prema versus the one coming from Raga Nuga Bhakti is called Kevala Prema. So what is the difference between these two?
Was it the Lord's sweetness and His powers?
Both has sweetness, but Mahatma Jnana has something like,
His power.
what is the distinct part? What is the distinct part? So distinct part in the Mahatma Jnana is the mix of Aishwarya, right? So the devotee is aware that Krishna is very powerful. Means not aware means that becomes the prime thing. Krishna is so powerful, and that's the reason I want to love Krishna, right? But in the Rakanuga, Krishna is sweet. That's the reason I want to love Krishna. And there is awareness in the Krishna is sweet. There is awareness that Krishna is great also, but that gets superseded by Krishna is my lover. Krishna is my friend. So emotions takes over that awareness of the greatness. While in the case of Aishwarya, the greatness is one which is taking the devotee towards the prema. So that's the main difference. So what did we talk about that in the Mahatma Jnana? Then what happens? What is the destination one gets once they achieve the prema? So destination is Vaikuntha, right? Because there is opulence, right? One can see the Krishna's opulent form like a Narayana. While what is the destination um, for the Kevalya Bhakti?
Vaikuntha.
No, Kevalya Bhakti is Vraja, Vraja, right? So Vaikuntha, see, if you are confused with the Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha is the whole realm, right? So
Yeah.
we are talking about the Vaikuntha where Narayana lives. So within the Vaikuntha whole realm, there's a Vaikuntha planet also where Narayana lives. But then there is the Vraja planet also where Krishna lives, right? So for one in the Kevalya Bhakti, the destination is Vraja. That's where the devotee has the direct connection with Krishna. Means in both the cases, there is a connection. With one place is the connection with Narayana, form of the Krishna. Other places is the sweet Syam Sundar form of the Krishna. Right? So different kind of a rasa. So in the case of Mahatmya Bhakti, there is the um, servitude master, right? Servitude master relationship. While in the case of the uh, mm, Kevalya Bhakti, these like Sakha, parental, and Madhurya, these are the relationships. Okay. Now, with that, we said that we have to start from 14. So let's see. Preeti Mataji, you can just read the translation from here and then go to 14 just for connection.
Prabhuji, I'm driving. I won't be able to.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes. Mrunalini Mataji.
Sure, Prabhu. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's commentary. This is also from Narada Pancharatna, that bhakti which possesses continuous desire for the Lord, devoid of desire for other results.
No, Mataji. Read from here. Translation. This part. Read.
Oh, okay, Prabhu. 13th one. Okay. Prema with knowledge of Lord's sweetness arising from the Lord's mercy is described as follows in Pancharatna. That bhakti inundated with prema, with continuous, spontaneous desire to please the Lord, free of desires for other results, even the desire to see his powers, bring even Vishnu under control.
Okay. So that's the Mamtavya, right? Krishna is mine. Okay.
Yeah.
Now 14.
Okay. Translation. Those who have practiced Vaidhi Bhakti and then get the great mercy of the Lord, attain prema with knowledge of the Lord's powers. Those who have practiced Raganuga Bhakti and then get the great mercy of Lord, usually attain prema with the knowledge of the Lord's sweetness. Jiva Goswami's commentary. Generally, prayasa from Raganuga sadhana, one will attain Kevala prema. However, the practitioner of Raganuga, who also practice some portion of Vedic sadhana, does not receive Kevala prema. That is the meaning of the word generally. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's commentary. If a person practicing Raganuga sadhana performs archana, which includes meditation or on Rukmini and others of Dwaraka, which are part of Vaidhi Bhakti, the Lord, then the Lord will not bestow Kevala Prema.
Okay. So what did we understand from this?
Actually, there are two ways of this sadhana, Prabhu. One with Vaidhi Bhakti and one with Raganuga Bhakti. And Raganuga is complete devotion of the Lord. Whereas the practitioner of Vaidhi sadhana, they'll even concentrate on worship of others. So this will not attain to receive Kevala Bhakti.
Well, you see, it's not difficult. It's very simple. So one who is practicing Vaidhi Bhakti, right? They will attain and then of course, so you need Vaidhi Bhakti plus mercy. So mercy we need to get the Prema. Without the mercy, nobody can get the Prema. Okay. So Vaidhi Bhakti, the devotee is practicing plus Prema. One will get the Prema with the knowledge of the Lord's power, right? That is the Aishwarya Jnana Prema. Okay. But the one who is practicing Raganuga plus the mercy of the Lord will get the Prema, which is with the knowledge of the Lord's sweetness, which is the Kevalya Prema. Okay, so in this case, in the first case, the destination will be the Vaikuntha planet, Narayana form. In the case of the Raganuga, one will be the Vraja. Okay, so that's what is being talked about. Jiva Goswami is telling, generally from the Raganuga sadhana, one will attain Kaivalya Prema. Generally, okay, if the goal is Raganuga sadhana only, then one will attain Kaivalya Prema. However, if the practitioner of Raganuga also practices some portion of the Vaidhi sadhana, they does not receive Kevalya Prema. That is the meaning of the word generally, right? So generally means not always. In some cases, if there is still the tinge that, you know, I will rely on my Vaidhi and the emotion is not 100% pure, then one will not get the Kevalya. So Kevalya is only for the pure emotional love. That's the form one has to reach before one can get the Kevalya. Now, if a person practicing Raganuga sadhana performs Archana, which includes meditation on Rukmini and others of Dwarika, which is part of Vaidhi Bhakti, then the Lord will not bestow Kevala Prema. So, you see, this is where even in Mana Siksha is one of the book which Raghunath Das Goswami has written. He talks about that to get the Vraja Prema, if one even deviates to the opulent form of Krishna, like Narayana, Rūpa, or anything like that, one will not get. So he very explicitly said that I would not focus on the Narayana form. I only want the Krishna's form, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else like that, right? So it is like that's the reason we have to, if we really want the um, if really want to achieve the Vraja Bhakti, then the focus has to be completely here. So it's not that. So here, I'll tell you the, and it shouldn't become. It's not that we should not go to Balaji temple, but even when one is going to Balaji temple, and if one aspires, like say if somebody aspires that I aspire the um, opulent form of Krishna, Balaji's worship is the best. Okay, if somebody says that I only aspire Braja Bhakti, then if one is visiting Balaji temple, then still the worshipper should be okay admiring the Aishwarya form of Krishna as Balaji, but in the mood inside should be still the love, right, of Vraja love. So that's very important. Otherwise, what will happen? We would not achieve the Vraja love. And I'm not saying it. I'm just from this, all the things what we are reading, that's what I'm presenting it to you. So do not think that going to Balaji temple is a wrong, but what should be the mood, right? How we should imbibe in our heart, what should be the insight? That's what really matters. So we can visit any temple we can visit, and we should be very thankful for visiting those temples, because all forms are, means any Krishna temple, all forms are of Krishna. Even the demigod temple, when we go, we appreciate that how they are servant of Krishna, right? So we are always, the Vaishnavas are always, they see in relationship with Krishna. So similarly, when they go to Balaji temple, they, if their aspiration is pure love, Vraja love, then they should see in that in relationship with Vraja Krishna, how Balaji is related with that in that mood. So that's what's very important. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Um, oh, Jai Radha Mataji, yes.
Yes, I have a question. Does Krishna give mercy or prema without practicing Vedi or Raganuga Bhakti?
Krishna can do that, but that's very rare.
Why would he
Okay.
do it?
So Krishna's will means he's Bhagwan. Bhagwan means he's Swarat. He can do whatever he likes. Right?
Yeah.
For example, Ramji gave the blessing to Sabri, right? Life perfected.
Mhm.
So there are examples where you just get the mercy. That's it. Just right place, right timing. It happens. But devotee cannot rely on that. That's very rare. That's very, very rare. So the best way for devotees, we have to work very hard and still wait for the mercy, because to get the prema, mercy is required anyway. Without, and Krishna gets attracted by our sadhana, how much effort we are putting in our sadhana. By that, Krishna gets attracted. So all the sadhana which we are doing is a way, because we are trying to purify ourselves, and we are showing our seriousness, our sincerity, it attracts Krishna's mercy. But still Krishna has to come and give the mercy. We cannot demand mercy. Mercy is given.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Mataji, 1516.
Translation. First, there is association with devotees, by which one gains faith. Then one associates with the devotees to learn the scriptures, and then practices bhakti. The anarthas are then destroyed. Steady bhakti without confusion follows. Desire from the Lord, ruchi, appears. This is followed by spontaneous desire for the Lord, ashakti. This becomes Bhāva and then Prema. This is the progression of manifesting Prema for those performing sadhana bhakti.
So what it is basically, it is the definition of
Sadhana bhakti.
Navada Bhakti, we say, right? 9 steps. Adu Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha, Tatha Bhajan Kriya, Tato Anartha Nivritti, Sayat Tato Nishtha Ruchi, Tatha, right? Tatha Tatha Ashaktis, Tato Bhava, Tatha Prema, Bhuva Danchati. So nine step process of bhakti. That is what is being described.
Sorry. Though there are many steps in the progression of bhakti, the most common sequence is stated in 2 verses. In the beginning, ado, by hearing the scriptures in association with devotees, one attains faith, shraddha. Shraddha means trust or confidence. Then after faith appears, again association with devotees takes place, sadhu sangha. By learning how to practice bhakti, nistha means continuous bhakti without confusion. Ruchi means desire for the Lord, but with direction by the intellect. Ashakti means desire, which is natural for spontaneous without intellectual direction.
Okay, so what is the takeaway here?
Once you get to the Ashakti stage, then the desire, which is naturally within you, is formed and is not built with intellect.
That's very, very good, Mataji. That's exactly what. So see, until Ruchi, there is an effort. Effort is always there throughout the process, but Ruchi is also like the Nishtha. So we are right now, most of us are going to the Anartha Nivritti, right? With the getting of all the negative thing. And Nishtha is when one is totally like firmed up, no confusion, right? Bhakti is my only path. They do not focus on anything else. They will reduce the job. They might leave the job, or means the less focus on earning. Like the focus on earning at the Nishtha stage become almost zero. Okay, this is all advanced stage, right? Almost zero, and then the 100. So it's just not that earning, because somebody can not earning because they don't have a job, or they don't want to work the job, but they are coming to that stage because they want to focus on bhakti. So that nishtha and their service, the focus is lot on the service. So chanting, serving the devotees, and swadhyaya, and doing our sadhana, serving the devotee and doing our sadhana. Okay, but now ruchi is when one is also using the so body is totally there, right? Then one is also using the intellect to focus on Krishna. That is what we are talking about, dharana. Okay, we are trying to dharan Krishna, his body part, and focus on his pastime. So we have to apply my intellect. Why I'm not doing that, and I bring it, and but it has become so intense that one is able to do that. But so until now, there's a one has to use our thing, but then from asakti it is the spontaneous thing, right? So that's where you can see this maybe the starting of the raganuga with the raganuga, and one who aspires to practice raganuga, they may start from the ruchi also, but that as the raganuga is maturing, is ashakti, then it is converting into the bhava and prema. Yes, Mataji, read 17 also.
Translation. This ever-fresh prema arises in the heart of a person who is very fortunate. That person's behavior is very difficult to comprehend, even for those knowledgeable of scriptures. Chief Goswami's commentary. Antarvanipi means by the knower of scripture. Mudra means behavior.
Okay, so why says this ever fresh prema arises in the heart of a person who is very fortunate? So what do we understand from the first line?
So the prema arises when you receive mercy.
Yeah, and,
or
and
not
that
everybody gets not everybody
go ahead.
gets to not everybody gets to experience prema.
Yes, absolutely. It's very rare. Not everybody is like, it's not even that. It's very, very rare. It's so, and that's the reason why it is called, the word is very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. One who's getting the prema, they're in a very, 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 very small segment of the population. So they're very fortunate. So we all should feel fortunate that we are on this path. At least we know the path which will lead us to this. Okay, the other word which comes into mind, this ever fresh prema. What do we understand by this? This ever fresh prema.
Ever fresh means always new.
Yes. The prema never gets boring. So there's always new experience, there's always new realization, new pastimes. So that's what the prema is. Okay, thank you. And then the second sentence, that person's behavior is very difficult to comprehend.
Yeah, not a lot of people understand it.
Yes, very, very few people can understand that. And only people who are very advanced, because people who are doing something very abnormal, they will be dancing, singing, like not doing anything. They're just a statue. So they may show all those stuff, or they are like just serving, like seems that these are all the mad people. So our emotions are very intense. People think that this person has gone mad, right? So there could be all those things. So it's very difficult to understand and comprehend, and even for those knowledgeable of scriptures. Okay, Shiva Prabhuji.
Translation. Therefore, in Narada Pancharatra, it is said, O goddess Parvati, the person who is mad with love of the God, Lord, being absorbed in the highest bliss, does not know at all his own happiness or distress.
Hmm.
Jiva Goswami's commentary. This verse shows difficulty in understanding a person with prema. Even he cannot understand what is happening. Here is the meaning. Those learned in scriptures define the goals of life as the destruction of suffering and attainment of happiness. They try to understand if the Prema Bhaktas have achieved these two goals of life by looking at their external appearance. But these Prema Bhaktas internally experience happiness and distress only from achieving or not achieving the Lord. Thus, others cannot understand the Prema Bhaktas' behavior. Thus, it is said, persons who are very expert and most intelligent in understanding things as they are engage in hearing narrations of auspicious activities and pastimes of the Lord, which are worth chanting and worth hearing. Such persons do not care even for the highest material benediction, namely liberation. To say nothing of other less important benedictions like the material happiness of the heavenly kingdom. O Lord, we pray that you let us be born in any hellish condition of life, just as long as our hearts and minds are always engaged in the service of your lotus feet. Our words are made beautiful by speaking of your activities, just as tulsi leaves are beautified when offered onto your lotus feet. And as long as our ears are always filled with the chanting of your transcendental qualities. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura's commentary. In 3.15.48 and in statements made by Dhruva, suffering from not attaining the Lord is shown by the Kumaras expressing disrespect for liberation, since there is no bhakti present for attaining the Lord in that state. In the statement of Kumaras, happiness on attaining the Lord is expressed by accepting birth even in hell, provided it is possible to perform bhakti there.
So, what is the takeaway from here?
So 2 points, Prabhu. Here, the way they are telling, like they do not know, Prema Bhaktas do not know what is happening, whether they are happy or distressed, because it is not external, it is completely internal. So they feel happy or distressed because whether they are attaining the Lord or not, whether they able to feel about the Lord or they are not think about the Lord. That is one characteristic. That is the reason others cannot understand, or they themselves cannot understand whether they are happy or not. And second thing, they are giving the analogy of whether they are present in uh, hell or not. Even they are present in hell, until unless they are doing prema bhakti, uh, they are happy. Like even though they are in hell, they will be happy if they are performing bhakti. They do not care about their external opulences or material happiness or even liberation. They do not care.
Very good, Prabhuji. Anybody would like to add anything?
Prabhuji, isn't it, if I missed out the name, Chit Chitraketu Maharaj? I believe it's Chitraketu, right? I'm not sure. So when he was smiling at, I think, Lord, then Parvati got upset and she gave him a curse, but then he was still happy. And then Lord Shiva said, it doesn't really matter whether the devotee is in hell or heaven. They just they just pray to the Lord. That's all they aspire to. I'm not sure, Prabhu. I didn't say the whole story properly, but
Yeah, it's not the
yeah,
full story, but yeah, but that's
yeah,
okay. That's okay. You are making the point.
yeah.
That's perfectly fine. That's making the point is a good point.
Thank you.
Yeah. So see the what? Any other point? Any other point? To anyone? So see, the does not know at all his own happiness or distress. So person is, as Seva Prabhu was describing, person is so happy inside that the external problem with the one's body or one's the mind or what is happening outside. Maybe the earthquake is happening, the war happening. It doesn't, one person becomes aloof from that because they're experiencing so much of love from inside, right? So that's the reason just Sandar Atma Vishesh Atma, right? Sandar Anand Vishesh Atma. That's the word we had used in the beginning. That stage, one has got reached that stage. That there's no, even though they are in this body and on this earth, but they are completely very happy. So that's point one. The other point which Jiva Goswami is trying to make is that, and suddenly I lost my train of thought. What I was trying to say. um, just let me see if I can recollect what I was trying to say.
Sundaratma.
Sundarada Bashad, oh yeah, that was there. The
Sundarat.
Jiva Goswami was telling
About hell, Prabhu.
hell. Yeah. So this one, we pray that you are not. O Lord, that we pray that you let us be born in hellish condition of life, just as long as our hearts and minds are always engaged in the service of your lotus feet. So, and this story here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is talking about for the Kumaras. Lord is shown by the Kumaras expressing disrespect for liberation, since there is no bhakti present for attaining the Lord in that state. So Kumaras are telling that we don't want the liberation also. As long as we are getting the bhakti, we are willing to go to the hell. So that is the other sign, right? In the prema is so intense that devotee don't consider the liberation, they don't consider it at all. What they are looking for, only the interaction with the Lord. That means bhakti. That's all they are looking for. So those are the two key points being presented here. Okay, Prabhu, 19.
Translation. Sneha and other advanced stages are manifestations of prema. But because they are rare, even in those who have practiced bhakti, the distinctions will not be described here.
Okay, so Prema in further chapters after 19 and it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhurya Kadamini, other places also. But mainly, if one continue reading the Nectar of Devotion also, you'll see the elaboration on the Prema. Um, uh, and Sneha is one of the parts. So it just talks about there's a stair, right? So even distinction, once somebody is in the prema level, even distinguishing whether one is sneha or the mahabhava is Radharani, which is the highest, right? At what stage they are, it is very difficult to ascertain. That's what is being told. Okay, Jai Radha Mataji, 2021.
21. Translation. Sri Chaitanya Goswami, my master has clearly described all the sweetness of the conclusions of bhakti in Bhagavad-Mrita, though it is very
Esoteric.
esoteric.
So
Translation.
yes, yeah. So before we go, so here, who is Sanatana Goswami? Who is referring to? What is the what do we understand by this verse? Anybody can speak. Yeah, I'm not only talking to Jayarada Mataji.
Yeah. So Rupa Goswami's spiritual master Sanatana Goswami is starting. So he's one of the scriptures written by Sanatana Goswami is Bhagavad-Gita. So
Yeah,
their large pastimes, sweetness related pastimes are clearly explained in Bhagavad-Gita.
yeah. So see, so here what we can draw from it. So this is something which Rupa Goswami is stating. What he is not stating here is Rupa Goswami is giving all the credit of his work to his elders. That's the humility, right? So Nectar of Devotion is considered to be the masterpiece narration of the understanding the bhakti. And he is giving all the credit to his big brother Sanatana Goswami, and he's saying that because why his book Brihad Bhagavad-Prita. Yeah, that's a very an esoteric book in the sense that it goes into a lot of detail and the things which may become very hard for people to understand, right? The Prema Rasa and all those stuff. But Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu itself is the bhakti personified, right? So that is what is not That's what we can understand from this statement. Okay, Mataji, 21, the last verse of the whole
Okay.
19th chapter. Yes.
Translation. May the eternal Lord, in the beautiful form of a coward boy who disturbs his mood of love to Rama and other forms, be pleased with the first part of Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu. Second meaning. May the person named Sanatana Goswami who glorified Gopala Bharata Goswami and Rūpa Gosvāmī and bestowed Kṛṣṇa Prema to Raghunath Dasa Goswami be pleased with the first section of the Ocean of Nectar.
Okay, so before, just hold on. So before we go on, next, just make sure that we are understanding the translation. So what do we understand by the translation here? And anybody can contribute.
So glorious, Prabhu. I think he is giving the same words two meanings. One is he is giving the meaning to Krishna and Balrama. So that he's whatever work that Rupa Goswami has written, so he's telling like okay, whatever work so far that we discussed, so it would be pleasing. It will be pleased for the Krishna and Balrama. And
Very
second
good.
meaning is
So just Prabhu, just hold on. So here Rama is referring to Balrama. Okay, so just for the devotee, in case you are confused. So Prabhu just described this part. Okay, go ahead for the second one.
second one is also offering this as to his senior other Goswamis. It's not just Krishna or Balrama. It's also mean to Sanatana Goswami, who himself glorifying Gopal Bhatta Goswami and Rupa Goswami. So, and bestow that love to Raghunath Das Goswami for this whatever work that Rupa Goswami has done this work.
Yes, yes. So because the word Gopala can refer to Krishna, Rupa or Gopala Bhatt, Rupa Goswami, right? So and Raghunatha, right? And Raghunatha can refer to Rama. So you see how these words um, can have two different meanings. And many times our writers would write in that way. They would, because both the meanings are correct, right? So Rupa Goswami, you can see he is writing both the things. In one case, he's glorifying the Lord and the Balram and how the things are happening. Then he, at the same time, he's glorifying the representation of them in terms of the Sanatan Goswami, who is the elder, and and by saying that, he's glorifying the elder and how the elder is glorifying his younger, right? So that's the real glorification is happening here. Okay, so now you read Mataji Jiva Goswami commentary.
Jiva Goswami's commentary. This verse has two meanings in relation to Krishna. The form of the coward boy expands himself into the avatar from such as Rama. Krishna is the source of all avatars. The avatar, he fulfilled the aspirations of the worshippers of the other forms. This expresses the mercy of Krishna. Taking another meaning, the author mentions the four contemporaries. The second name mentioned in the Sri Rupa Goswami, the writer of the Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu, the first and third mentioned, Gopala Bharata and Raghunatha Dasa, are Rupa's friends. The fourth, Sri Satana Goswami, is the elder brother of the author of this work. Bhāva in the verse means Krishna Prema. Thus ends the fourth wave concerning Prema Bhakti in the eastern section of the Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu. Here ends the eastern section.
Hari Bol. So we
Hari Bol.
completed the first 19th chapter by the blessing of our Acharya. Without the blessing of our Acharya, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and etc., we would not be able to read this or even forget about understanding it. So we should feel very lucky that we have come that far, because our Goswamis on the part of the Vedic Bhakti, our Goswamis are the shelter, right? So they provide the shelter, they provide the impetus, they provide the blessings, and then we keep moving ahead. And as one is making the progress towards the Raganuga Bhakti, then with the Vrajavasi becomes the source of progression. And it's not that Goswamis are not there, but Brajavasi will start coming into the picture. So we should be very, very thankful with a very humble heart, gratitude. Let's pray that our Goswamis continue bestowing their mercy on all of us. And today is a very wonderful day. Ekadashi is the all days are Krishna's days, but this is a special day that to Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi. Some of you or all of you might have be fasting without water. Nirjala Ekadashi you might be doing. So it's a very wonderful day to conclude this whole narration of Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu, right? The name Bhakti, which full of Bhakti Rasa, Bhakti Rasa Amrita, nectar, Sindhu, ocean, right? So that's what we have concluded today. All right, this is amazing, 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 amazing. So now if we can quickly do the full recap, right? How many chapters? So start with the very basic. How many chapters are in this section? So there are 4 waves. There are 4
4 directions.
4 directions. Okay, 4 directions, right? And so this is the eastern direction. So that was the first part. And within this, these are 19 chapters. Okay, so that's what we studied. That is a part of Bhakti, our Bhakti Shastri study. And within this, in the eastern direction, there are 4 waves. What are those 4 waves?
Samanya sadhana bhava prema.
Very good. Samanya Bhakti was in chapter 1, introduction, and introduction was just setting the definition. What is the um, what is the pure bhakti? Okay, so that's what we Samanya Bhakti. So it just talked about the bhakti introduction, just like you can say, and then sadhana bhakti was the so Samanya Bhakti is what devotion is, right? It establishes the definition, what's devotion is. And the sadhana bhakti is what we do once we have understood. What should be our practice? And the sadhana bhakti was from which chapter to which chapter?
2nd to 14.
16, yeah, close. Yeah, so what we do. So 14, yeah, up to 14 it was the Vedis Bhakti, and then the 13 and 14 was the 15 and 16 was the Raganuga Bhakti. Okay, yeah. So Sadhana Bhakti. So Raganuga is also part of the Sadhana Bhakti. Okay, so what we do, right? So how to practice our devotion. So that was Sadhana Bhakti. And what was wave 3?
Bhava.
Bhava. So when we practice bhakti, then what happens? What are the symptoms? That is, bhava will start manifesting. Right? When we practice, then the bhava will start happening. And then when we, and as the devotee is in the bhava, then what is the destination? That is wave 4, which is chapter. And what is the chapter for the bhava bhakti?
17.
17 and 18, 2 chapter. Okay, 17 and 18. And then the chapter 19 is the destination of the bhava bhakti, right? The pure love of God. So this is where this is like all the waves. Now quickly let's go on the introduction. What was the definition of uttama bhakti? Quick recollection.
Anyabhilasita sunyam jnanakannar dhyanavritam anukulyena
Anukul
krishnanshena
bhaktir
uttam.
uttama. Okay. So what is in the simple English words, Prabhu, what is the definition?
So without overpowering of jnana, or without expecting anything, and doing a favorable service to Lord is called the Prema Bhakti. Sorry, pure
Very,
Bhakti.
yes. So the favorable cultivation of for doing the service for Krishna's pleasure, and there is no other anya bhilasha sunyam. There is no other desire. So it's pure. There is no other desire. So like you see, it's establishing Krishna is mine, and they I have no other desire than Krishna is mine. So I'm connecting it what we understood, right? And it is not covered by jnana. So forget about the material aspiration. Not covered by the jnana or karma. And it's if you look in the Srimad Bhagavatam, what kind of pure devotion says ahi tuki aparihita, right? In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6, I think it says unmotivated and uninterrupted, right? So our service to Krishna should be unmotivated and uninterrupted. Okay, and then what happens? So as a result of that, we understood what are the 6 characteristics of practicing the Shuddha Bhakti or the pure Bhakti.
We discussed on 6 qualities. Klesha Agni was one.
Yes, very good, very good. Klesha Agni means which destroys the
Uh,
what is
Sins,
Klesha?
sins are mistakes.
burning.
Suffering. Klesha is suffering. Okay, which destroys the suffering. Okay, so that's Klesha Agni. What's next? When the suffering is getting destroyed, then what happens?
All auspiciousness,
All
auspiciousness,
auspiciousness happens. Okay,
Rupada.
and then what makes even the and that what it does when all the auspiciousness happens, then what happens?
Hari Bhakti. Uh, some
If,
Lagukrit. Uh,
yeah, moksha.
Moksha Lagukrit.
Very good. So even the liberation becomes insignificant with that auspiciousness. And then it is very rare to attain. It's
Sudurlabha.
sudurlava, very rare to
Sudurlabha.
attain. And what is the experience? It's an
Some
ocean of bliss, sandaradma
Sadharma.
visheshatma.
Sandharma. Okay. Yeah.
And then
Good.
what is the and then ultimately it's so that's the kind of experience. And then what one gets? One gets it attracts Krishna himself, Sri Krishna Akarshani. So this kind of bhakti attracts Krishna. Krishna comes running, and that's what's described in the Brihad Bhagavamrita, right? Where the Gopa Kumara story, which our Gaurang Darshan Prabhu was stating, right? Krishna was fainting, like when he sees the Gopa Kumara, he runs and then he faints, and he's totally faint. Like everybody like doesn't know, like they think, oh, Krishna is gone. He's fainted, right? Like he's so much of affection, love for each and every devotee. He runs towards the devotee. So that's the and why he runs is not that because uh, if we go like this, Krishna is not going to run because the devotee has so much of love for Krishna, and that's the reason he runs. Okay, so that was the first part. Then we started with the sadhana bhakti. And sadhana bhakti, uh, how many different angas were there?
64 angas.
Very good.
20
Very
are
good.
mosquito
And
practice.
sorry, and before we went there, chapter 2 and 3 actually had what is the qualification to enter into the bhakti, right? We talked about that. What is the qualification to enter into the bhakti? And what is that qualification?
Faith.
Shraddha. Very good, very good, right? And then and that gets that's become more firmed when the devotee do the bhajan kriya, and bhajan kriya means they are associating with the devotee and they are singing, and so that's the first okay. um, and who is qualified to practice bhakti?
anyone with a little faith, right?
Very good. Everyone is qualified, regardless of birth or past, right? What is really required criteria is little faith. Little faith once it starts, and then that's where we talked about the Kanishta Bhakta, Madhyama Bhakta, Uttama Bhakta, right? So it's not that how much one is qualified in terms of the education. It is the how much one is eager. That's our eagerness. And you see, those are all the symptoms of love, right? The mother is looking for the eagerness. The lover is looking for the eagerness. The boy is looking for the eagerness in the girl. The girl is looking for the eagerness in the boy, or whatever, right? Okay. And then the um, then the glorification of the bhakti is presented, right, in chapter 4, 5. And what it talks about? It talks about the all the kind of liberation, but then it also says that devotees reject all those liberation, sayujya, sarupya, salokya, samipya, saristi, right? They reject that all those uh, liberation, but that's the glory. The bhakt Krishna will give even the liberation, highest kind of liberation, but he would not give the pure love. That's the reality of the love we are talking about.
Like what to aspire, it will give the clarity.
Yes. And then the purity of the devotional service, chapter 5 was that even if one practices little bhakti, it is never lost. It continues birth after birth. It's never lost, right? And if it is kept pure, then what, right? We had talked about in the sadhana bhakti that how sometimes the devotee will start manifesting the whole like pure symptom, which means they were practicing pure bhakti, but somehow or the other something happens, and now they are starting with the pure bhakti. So we talked about that also, like they started coming directly to raganuga. Okay, then chapter 6 onwards, what we talked about, 64 angas. Okay, and the first 20 was what did we talk about? What were the first 20?
Vritti nivritti.
Do's and
Prabhu?
don'ts.
What was that? What was the word?
Vritti nivritti.
Pravritti, nivritti. No, no. First 20 angas, their word was used. It is the gate to the bhakti, right? Gate to the bhakti which allows you to enter, right? So, and the first 10 is do's, the next 10 is don'ts, right? Or vice versa. One of those was there, right? Do's and don'ts. And then the chapter 9, after that, the chapter gives the scriptural evidence, like how to practice the bhakti. So the first 20 is do's, don'ts, all the things. Then further, like wearing the tilak, putting the tulsi, um, uh, and accepting the favorable thing, rejecting the unfavorable thing. Chapter 8 talks about the offenses to be avoided, right? So while we are walking on that path, how to make sure that we are within the path, we are not falling down here and there. Offenses is our greatest culprit, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that if one does these two things, even the two things, one chant and one serve the devotee without offending, is very critical. I think we forget about this. If we don't forget, then there should not be any conflict in the devotees. But when the conflict has started happening, that means that it is a highly likely one will start offending the other one. So we should try to avoid the conflict. If the conflict arises, we should try to see how we can mend that. It won't be easy. Krishna will give us the situation where it becomes very, very difficult, very, very difficult. But we should pray, and that's what we aspire. We should pray that uh, Krishna and our Guru protect us from the Maya Devi. We shouldn't think that I have become too powerful. Okay, Prabhupada said that my only worry is that, and that time he was talking about his disciples, that they are not afraid of Maya. But Krishna, Prabhupada would say that every day I pray to Maya Devi. Okay, so offenses to be avoided. Okay, and then there we had talked about the 10 offenses to the holy name, right? Seva, prad, and all those stuff. Chapter 9. About the respecting the tulsi and the cow and the brahmana and the Vaishnava, observing Ekadashi and etc. Okay, um, Then, so that was the 64 limbs and the offenses, right? And after that, we talked about the how to intensely, very intensely practice bhakti. So we learned that hey, these are the elements A, B, C, D, E, F. Like okay, we know the alphabets. How to put together the words and start doing a wonderful writing, something like that, right? So it was the how to hearing and remembering. Remember we talked about that first start with the uh, hearing, but the goal is remembering, smaranam, right? So we start from the kirtanam and hearing, but then the goal is smaranam, all the time thinking of the Kṛṣṇa, and that's where we talked about how smaranam will lead to dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, right? So we talked about that. Um, uh,
Nakavyam Satam Krishna Swatam
yes,
Najat.
Najat, yes, okay, and then we talked about Archanam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam, right? Totally full surrender, the different aspect of transcendental service. So while we are doing this, how to see if we are making progress or we are not making progress, how to measure ourselves, right? So that's what Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu talks about, measuring, giving us the criteria how to measure ourselves. And then the chapter 13 14 talks about the five most potent form of devotional service. What are the most five potent form of devotional service?
Deity worship,
Very good,
hearing Bhagavatam,
very good,
power of associating a devotee,
very good,
and chanting,
very good.
and residing in the.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So these are the five primary things. 64, some people think, oh, that's too many. Even if we can remember five and we can focus on these, our life will be perfect. And then it says that forget about five. Even if one practice one and be sincere about it, our life will be perfect. Okay, so quality of a devotion. So we need, see, our quantity is only 16 round, but that the minimal, right? But the focus has to be quality. Even like those 16 rounds, we should try to do with the good. Before we try to do 32, we should try to focus on the quality as much as possible. But sometimes, quantity adds the quality, because if I'm practicing, I am not, I'm trying to be bodybuilder and I'm not able to lift because my posture is wrong. If start doing little bit more, by just doing this process, I'll start getting the idea how to do it properly. So that's right. Sometimes adding the quantity is totally fine to gain the quality also, but the focus should not be quantity. Okay. And then 15, 16, what was that? Raganuga Bhakti. And what did we talk about in the Raganuga Bhakti?
So Ragatmika Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti both we talked about. So
Okay. Okay. What was Ragatmika Bhakti?
who are Vrajavasis who are following Krishna spontaneously,
Yes.
serving Krishna,
And who are Raganuga Bhaktas?
who are taking the inspiration from Ragatmika Bhaktas and trying to follow the footsteps is called
Very
the
good.
Raga.
Very good. Very good. Okay. And then what are the five primary rasas?
Dasya, Sakya,
Santa, Dasya,
Vatsalya,
Sakya, Vatsalya,
Vatsalya,
and
Madhurya.
Madhurya. Very good. Now, so after that, so now that was the Raganuga Bhakti, right? Uh, now, what happens after that? So, where one start reaching? What becomes? What is the result of that?
So softening the heart will start,
Hmm.
and they will develop greed for service or for the pleasure of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And their Raganuga coming from Vaidhi sadhana or spontaneous is the first Prabhu again, I think.
Yeah. So, but one important thing, one of the most important thing we haven't talked about. What is that? All those things happen, but how it happens?
Bhava.
Yeah, but how the bhava comes?
The mercy of God.
Yes. So mercy of the Lord is important, and that will lead us to Suddha Sattva. And when the Suddha Sattva, so without, this is where the mercy comes into the picture. Without the Suddha Sattva, without the mercy, one cannot approach get the bhava. Before that, it's all our mind endeavor, everything is going on, right? But the mercy of the Lord enters, and it is Haladni Shakti, right? Samvit Shakti, Haladni Shakti, that leads to, because it's directly connected with Krishna, that is Suddha Sattva, and then all the symptoms which we are talking about, which it will start manifesting, right? Softening of the heart and everything. Okay.
Those are all power, right?
Those are bhava, those are the emotions, right? Those will start leading to emotions. And then we talked about in chapter 18, what are the different 9 symptoms of the bhava, so that nobody can fool us, right? And which is wasting no time, tolerance, blah, blah, blah thing, right? Pridelessness, constant taste for chanting. What else? Addiction to glorifying Krishna, like that. Okay, so there were 9. And then the destination, finally, the Prema Bhakti happens. And what is the definition of Prema Bhakti?
Condensed form of Bhava.
Yes, okay.
And extreme possessiveness.
Extreme
And
possessiveness, yes.
completely softening of the heart.
Yes, those are the secondary symptoms. So the main primary symptom completes the possessiveness, right? Māmatva. That's the Kri. And then the Māmatva is described as Krishna is? Krishna is? Fill in the blanks. From the case of the Māmatva, what does it mean? Krishna is?
All merciful.
Mine. Krishna is mine. Krishna is mine. My, okay? So Yashoda Maya is telling, Krishna is mine, my son. Sudama is telling Krishna is my friend. Gopis are telling Krishna is my lover. Mine, 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 right? So see how from the selfishness, my thing, my thing, my thing, it comes to the which we know that how it is totally inverted reflection, right? In Bhagavad Gita, we read that inverted reflection, how that it is mine, 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 but then Krishna is mine. That is true love. How it is, see how it is opposite, right? Once we understand this, it becomes easier to understand, right? Why it is inverted reflection of the tree. So that's the Kevala Prema, and we talked about the Prema arising from Aishwarya Jnana Prema and the Kevala Prema. Aishwarya Jnana Prema and Kevala Prema. And then it is concluded in conclusion that how the Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha, how now in stages it brings it home that we started with the 9 stages we talk about, but these are how the 9 stages one can achieve. So this is how the whole thing ended. Wow. Well, amazing. So, so if you, in a way you look, chapter 2 is talking about what is the entry to bhakti is faith. That's like a shraddha. Then chapter 3 says that to save the faith and we have to do bhajan kriya, that's association, sadhu sangha. So shraddha, sadhu sangha, right? Chapter 3. Then we have to practice. 64 angas comes into the picture and all the things how to be on the path and do not offend, but everything is happening with the devote, the active practice which is happening, which is bhajan kriya, right? So shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajan kriya. So even you see from that perspective, it is following that part. It seems Rūpa Gosvāmī is just aware of, means of course he's aware, means he's writing that way. And then chapter 13, right, is the anartha nivritti, cleansing of the heart, right? It talks about what are the symptoms that one will get the pridelessness and all those stuff. The cleansing is happening, and then once that happens, chapter 13 talks about the steadiness, which is nishtha, and then chapter 14 and 15, right? The Raganuga, that is a genuine taste, which is ruchi, and then further deepening of the as one is practicing that asakti, right? So chapter 14 and 15, and then what is the result? That is the dawn is happening, and there's a bhava. There's the first ray comes, and then once continue practice in the prema, it becomes the whole sun is there. So see how it is. It goes to the nine steps, and that's the reason why Rupa Goswami is even concluding with the all the 9 steps. Okay. All right. So, any thoughts? Anything? We are at the very end of concluding this whole series. We are going to miss seeing each other on, on these days.
Feel like reading again,
Thank
bro.
you so much.
Yes, that should be the result actually. We should start reading it again. Now it will make more sense if we just go and read it again. And I'll share the first chapter 19 from here, um, uh, what we read, and I'll also share some summary. Please read it. I'll also share the recording. All those things. Yeah. And anybody who would like to write the test, we can make arrangement for writing the test. If you are looking to do the get the work towards the um, diploma. Okay. So who is interested in writing the test? Anybody? No pressure. Just asking. Anybody is interested in writing the test? Okay. Bri Mataji, is that the hand, or you're saying that you are interested, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Bri Mataji is interested. All right. Oh yeah, and Shiva Prabhu, you are saying also, okay. So Bri Mata, but your Shiva Prabhu, your hand was less like this. I'm not sure if that means I
No,
want to
I'm
do
able
it.
to just you're talking to Mataji, so just
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's good. See, it helps to it will be a forcing function to go and review the topic. Okay, and you know that our tests are very simple. We send the hints and everything. You just follow the hints, you read it, you spend few hours. It's not that hard. Means I will encourage everybody, but yeah, no pressure ever. Okay, okay. So Bri Mata Siva Prabhu will try to figure out how to conduct the test. And if anybody else in the meantime develop that interest, do reach out to us and we'll try to do it together. That will be much easier. Okay.
I want to read again, Prabhu.
Definitely read, Mataji. Definitely read.
if there is a test, we will read again, Mataji. That's just
Yes,
that is the
that's
only
the
reason.
thing.
The only reason I
That's
kept it.
that
Yes.
that's the forcing function. Otherwise, we have the desire, but then we don't find the time because the other things comes into the picture.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
Prabhu,
that you did the class though. Oh,
Sorry,
thank
Mataji.
you. I appreciate that you conducted the class.
Madai, thank you. Without how can one can conduct the class without the somebody interested in hearing the class or discussing the class, right? So thank you to all of you. Without you, there won't be any class. Means
So thank you so much for patiently answering all our questions and clearing the confusions. I think yeah, it makes more sense, and at least it improves. I think Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu, I read personally for the book. It was, I felt like I just missed out. Like I'm not taking it. I did not grasp anything. I feel like it is so, it's not like confusing, I would say. I think it was beyond my level. Like I can't understand it, but you made it more sense, meaningful, and at least you improved the hope that, okay, now I can at least put if I put little more effort, like I can start reading more. I think I'll be able to understand and try to grasp more. So thank you so much.
yes, Madai, Prabhuji. Means it takes time, Prabhuji. Means this is my fourth time, I think, fourth or fifth time reading this. Every time I learn something, not something, I learn a lot every time. Okay, every time. Like, for example, this connection, how this like Adav Shraddha to Prema, how this chapter seems like in a logical sequence, right? So no, it was I didn't made that connection before. Now those connections, some connections are happening. So yes, every time, Prabhuji, as we progress, we'll be getting it, the, these books are not only read by the people who are in kindergarten, even for the one who is doing PhDs, right? It's just that kind of a book, Right. So it's deeper rasas. Okay. So before we conclude, I would like
And
each
the
of you.
title is
Yes, go
and the
Mataji.
title is so good, so beautifully said. It's really a nectar of devotion. It really attracted to reread
Yes.
and pay attention and keep all the things away and concentrate here, Prabhu. Thanks for
Yes.
making this opportunity. Yeah,
Yes,
it's all
Mataji. So,
Krishna's blessing that we came to this part.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last part. Okay. Last part. Before we end the class, I would like each of you to share um your takeaway point, realization, anything from this class. What if you have to summarize it in summary? What is one or two points you are taking away? So just think for a moment, and then we can talk. So just think for a moment. What did you get from this class, and what are the things you are going to make changes in your life?
Follow the do's and don'ts, Prabhu.
Okay, so Mata is ready. Okay, Murlali Mataji, go ahead. So what you want to do's and don'ts? Okay, what else?
It is a practice, Prabhu, that
Mm,
most of the things are said, but sometimes just get deviated, become uh, desireless, right? Desireless. I am work in progress, Prabhu. I always say, hey, I am here, but always, right? I am a work in progress, but I should become more intense. This draws me like sometimes I get deviated, but yes, I feel I am set and this attracts me. This is so intense. The book is so intense, but yes, the two key takeaways, what I say, make this a part of life. It always a part of life and never leave this part. Come what may.
very good, Mataji. Very good. Strong determination. Yes, we should carry it. Okay, who would like to go next?
I can.
Please.
My main takeaways are I feel grateful that I am able to understand or at least be on the path of bhakti, since it's something that is extremely rare and hard to understand. So to get that type of mercy is very meaningful to me, and because of that, I you know I consider ensuring that whenever I'm doing something, to be in the right kind of mindset. Am I doing it for myself, or am I doing it for the service of Krishna? Um, as you know, because we can get kind of caught up by doing so much service that we start thinking about ourselves a little bit, at least for me. And so I try to be as genuine as possible when executing any kind of seva service. So that was my main takeaway.
Very good, Mataji. So Mataji's focus, the takeaway I can say is about the service and the mood of service. So thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Okay, who would like to go next? Yes, Shiva Prabhu.
Sorry, Babu. Like my single mind, I just noted down, but I just
Mm,
want to share.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
especially like on the do's and don'ts part, I want to focus more, Prabhu. Like at least that gives me direction. What I don't want to avoid, like commit mistakes as much as possible. So, with intentionally, I don't want to do any mistakes. So that's where in the service of the Lord. And especially my learnings from these sessions, like to differentiate on the no imitation or from higher sense of emotional changes, like we should understand like where are we, what we are trying to do, and yeah, no imitation, and yeah, always keep the faith, like that at least uh, through our learnings, that will drive us, that is the driving force, that brings my conviction like towards the service and the practice that I'm doing. And and always check our intentions while doing the service. Maybe it would be repetition for Mataji, but the intention with which I'm doing, whether I'm doing for pleasing Krishna or pleasing my ego. So I just want to make sure like I need to do that internal check. Um, and yeah, so my favorite quote entire session, like always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So that is my memory line. I want to keep it my like on the board. I want to get a coding in my once I wake up in the board. Like I want to see that coding. I want to record it. And last one. Uh, do not take it for granted anything like whatever small service that we get, association we get, the kind of darshan that we are doing when we are learning. So when we are seeing Krishna, like it's the personality we are seeing, like we should be at most like as you're saying, like ever fresh, like that feeling of that rarity that we are getting, like the service or opportunity, whatever thing that we are getting, like we should not take it for granted. We try to do it most enthusiastic way so that it will be served personally for Krishna as a service. Like every small activity that we are doing, we should try doing a kind of an offering. So, like these are the things that I am taking away, Prabhu. Like at least I want to implement and try to continue to implement or need to better at it. Yes.
Very good, Prabhuji. Very good. Very good. Very nice. Yeah. So the takeaway I'm getting from your thing is, yeah, being aware where I am, right? Just being awareness of my mood, right? So that is the once we are aware, then we will be able to achieve the goal. So thank you. All right. Who would like to go next?
I can go.
Yes, Mataji.
What I take from this class is um, how merciful Krishna is, and how blessed we have all been to be able to be in Krishna consciousness and to be able to practice in bhakti, and how rare it is for people to be able to participate in this lifetime, and how important it is to develop selfless love for Krishna and to make Krishna the focus point, and to love Krishna unconditionally, and to never leave away from Krishna, not even if you were offered everything in the world. You would just say that I would pick Krishna over anything, and to gain the qualities of humility and pridelessness and selflessness, and how important it is for us to practice the five important things, like the chanting, the association with devotees, seeing the deities, and reading and eating prasad. How important that is.
Very good, Mataji. Very, very good summary. And I was a little worried about you because, see, typically when the devotees who are starting this book, they have read quite a bit. Your Bhagavad Gita is still continuing. So I thought this would be a little hard for you, but you did really well, at least through your understanding, right? I feel very happy, and it's just a beginning. And the next time you read, the next time means you just keep reading these books, this book, you will definitely get a lot more. But all the things which you shared, if you sincerely keep practicing, we all sincerely keep practicing, then we will make tremendous progress. So thank you very much. Priti Mataji, would you be able to talk anything or not?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm back since long.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I would like to first of all be really thankful to you to take this class for us, and really grateful and happy you have been pushing as well. Sometimes, I tend to miss out, but I believe you have been always trying to get me on track. Really thankful for that. And a few things, what I just note down was like mainly um, I need few seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very feeling very fortunate and blessed to be a part of this journey. And a few things which I really feel are helpful, like which could help me, are like mainly taking care of offenses, which I feel, as you mentioned, it could be the um, blocking for us. So we should take care on that. And um, and try to be more focused in our chanting in terms of quality and service, and doing our like continuing or being disciplined in our daily life, including the main forms of bhakti like deity worship, chanting, service, whatever is possible in our hand. And so as we discussed, like even Rup Goswami in his um, in his book, he has mentioned there is hope for everybody. So yeah, I can't say anymore. Thank you.
Yes, Mataji, there is a hope for all of us. Doesn't matter what our conditions is. If we just take even Krishna names once with sincerity, Krishna will always pull us back. There has been Prabhupada disciples through their life challenges. They strayed from the path, and then, but somehow the other, Krishna pulled them in, and they're back. There's several, not one story. I have heard several stories on that. That once we take the name of Krishna sincerely, Krishna is always going to protect. Yeah, we should try to see how much we can keep ourselves on the path, and that's the reason where the association becomes very important. But there can be some circumstances where it might become very difficult. But we should have always have faith in Krishna, and as long as we are sheltered, we'll be fine. I know one of my very means close friend. I won't say very close friend. Close friend. Oh, due to some reason, um, so they were moving very fast, and this devotee, my friend, a long time back. That time I didn't know him. He invited a Maharaj who came to the class, and Maharaj said something very strongly, and his wife took offense to that. And after that, wife became very uh, averse to that, and she will become very angry when he's chanting or doing anything and all those things. So ultimately, now what he does, very difficult. I haven't seen anybody like in my personal life having this kind of a difficulty. He chants on his finger because he doesn't want to create the bad mood in the home, because then it becomes very bad to live in the house. They have the young child, still one more young child to take care. So he chants on the finger. So we all have, we are all very lucky. Our family and the circumstances support us, but it can become very difficult sometimes. But as long as we have taken shelter of Krishna, things will be all right. All right. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. If I said anything which was not right or which was not in line of the parampara, that was my mistake, and you please forgive me for that. Um, I was trying my best. I don't know everything. Whatever I can recollect, whatever I can comprehend, I was trying to express. But there can be definitely there could be mistakes. What I discussed in right, because I'm just learning the subject myself. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to have the discussion. It helped me grow in bhakti, and please pray for me that I continue on this path. So that will be wonderful. So thank you very much. Hari Bol.
Thank you as well,
Thank you so
Prabhu.
much,
Hari
Prabhu.
Bol.
Hari
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thanks a
Thank you,
lot.
Thank you.
Prabhu.
Thank you.
Hari Bol. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I would also be interested in